Wow. If you had to have a Hollywood actress and producer as your doctor, you couldn't ask for anyone better than our final guest today. As Dr. Quinn, medicine woman, she saved lives on an almost daily basis in a small town in 19th century Colorado, winning all our hearts and a Golden Globe for Best Actress in a TV series in the process. Please welcome Jane Seymour. You're so great. Hello. Hello. Welcome to the programme. Lovely to see you.
What fun is this?
When you were doing Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, did you realise how big it was going to be? Because it became huge.
I had no idea. In fact, when they did the show, they hired me the night before I started.
Really?
And they did everything in their power to make sure that it never went on. The network didn't believe in it, and it kept... You know, and it made the top 10 the first 2 nights. And then
also,
it
did
for
so well
7 years.
Internationally as well.
Yes, it's still playing in 98 countries.
Jane, after all those years of playing a doctor, do people still recognise you as the doctor? And do they think you know anything about medicine?
Absolutely. I get stopped all the time and they say, you know, this is aching, you know, this problem. And of course, the other thing is everyone thinks I'm an American. Because I was an American doctor, let's face it. Yeah. But now, you know, with Wedding Crashers, they have other questions.
Well, the bit that we saw there, obviously, which summed up the series quite nicely, was, you know, who are you? We want a real doctor. It was one of the first girl power or women power type of programmes, really, wasn't it?
It was, and I get the most amazing letters from people all the time who say that their daughter became a doctor because of Dr. Quinn. And then I get really great letters that somebody will say that their son said, you know, women can be doctors too. So I think it had an amazing impact, much more than I ever imagined.
That's amazing.
Yes.
So why are you here at the moment?
I am here. I did a photo shoot for CC for the, you know, the clothing thing you see on the high street, and I also designed jewellery. So I came and I did all of that. So that was fun. And you were talking about Fat Days and Madonna and everything.
Now, don't start, Jane.
No, I just want you to know this is the dress you want. Okay?
Yes.
There is room here. So this will cover.
Do they do it in bigger sizes?
They do. They do. They do. They do. They do it in your size. They do it in every size.
But you were also commenting on the royal wedding.
I was commenting on the royal wedding. Oh my God.
What did you say about the hats?
Oh, yeah.
Can we just mention that hat?
Well, there were a couple of hats that were a little dodgy, and
too tactful. Too tactful, Jane.
Polite.
No. I did say that they reminded me of a panto I might have been in once. But no, I thought all in all, I thought that the hats and everything were great. I thought the Queen really looked amazing with that hat, and I thought that Carol Middleton looked perfect and elegant. And I thought the dress was amazing.
British, though.
So proud. They had me covering this for 2.5 weeks. What am I going to talk about for 2.5 weeks? So what I did is I called up Prince William's secretary and I said, what would William and Kate like, you know, and how am I going to handle this? And they gave me some numbers of people I could call and things I could talk about and everything like that. And they said all they want is that everyone enjoys the day. And I think you have to say it was the most incredible day ever. Yeah. And I jumped over the barricades because I was in that, you know, that where all this... Yes, they carried me over in this very slinky dress. It was a bit of a dodgy manoeuvre, you know. Dodgy manoeuvre there, no panty lines, you know. Won't go any further. But I did go right there in the middle of, you know, in Buckingham Palace and everything. And I just thought the way the bobbies handled everything, you know, the way that all the people were there. And people had said to me, oh, it's going to be so dangerous in London. Yes. And it was quite the opposite, you know. There was nothing, nobody was drunk, nobody was behaving badly.
How Americans, back home in America, how important was it to them?
Really important. They're still talking about it. But I think what I ended up doing, and what was really fun, was I'm kind of like an Ameribrit, an Americanized Brit, can't even say that. Yeah. But I understand what the Americans don't understand and don't know about Britain. And so I took them on a tour of Bath and, you know, showed them other things in the countryside. I took them down the pub and, you know, gave them a sort of a taste of
What about all those
life.
weird uniforms in the Abbey? Did you have to talk them through all the medals and everything else?
No, well, of course I saw Beckham was wearing it on the wrong side.
Yeah, did you point that out?
Well, I didn't actually live point that out, and I got one of those, but I didn't think... You're not supposed to wear it at the wedding. I didn't take mine out. Mine stays in the...
You could have worn yours on this show. We wouldn't mind that.
Now, you always strike me as a lady who's very happy with your lot, because your lot is good.
My lot is good.
What did you aspire towards, happiness-wise, when you were younger?
Well, I was like your previous guest. I wanted to be a ballerina. That's all I ever wanted. Okay. But I was born with flat feet and a speech impediment, so that's how I got into ballet.
You could be a quiet
and remedial stuff. So I ended up not being able to pronounce my R's. I would say a wounder, wuggy, wox, wuggy. So anyway, basically, when you go to America, if you do an American accent, it's totally ours. That's all you do. So I kind of ended up a dancer for a while. I didn't get in the Royal like her, but I did dance to the Kirov for a little bit. And then I got injured and I became an actress. And I think I always had a passion for the arts. And that's what I have 6 kids. And so that's what I kind of, you know, I think it's really important you say, is it important to be happy?
Yeah.
I think it's really important to be happy. I think it's really important to have a passion for something and to, you know, to follow it, whether you actually get to do it as a career or not. You know, so people say, oh, I love to act, you know, and I say, well, it might be really hard to actually get a job as an actress, but there's no reason why you can't do it community theatre or something like that.
How did you get the part in the Bond film?
Well, they were looking for a virgin and there weren't very many left. And I looked like
You
one.
didn't have to prove your credentials.
I didn't. But it was actually quite funny because I didn't have. My agent kept saying, you know, because my hair was really long. I used to sit on it those days, and he said, you know, got to put your hair up. But they have to see your hair up and down. So I went and I bought this big furry hat, stuck all my hair up in the hat, got a jacket that had a bit furry collar. And I came in, and the first thing Harry Saltzman said was, take off that hat. And I went, OK. And then he said, take off that coat. And I did. And then he offered me the part. That was it.
I thought you were going to say you take off something else.
Keep going. No, it's the wrong... Yeah, don't you remember? I'm the Bond girl that was the virgin, you know, the high priestess of Tara. It's so long ago. It's 40 years ago. You know that.
It's amazing.
I mean, it must be, do you like it when people bring it up? Because to us, you are one of the iconic Bond girls. And I know it must feel like an awfully long time for you, but it's repeated so often on telly. It's like yesterday for us.
Apparently, you get me every Christmas.
Yeah. Actually, speaking
know
of
what?
which, you were talking about whether you should treat a man like a 7-year-old. What's your take on that?
Well, I think that the 7-year-old is in every man. And I think it really becomes apparent when you throw a ball at them. You either give them a ball to catch, throw, or hit.
Yeah.
You know, then they become 7-year-olds, don't they? And they're very happy.
Is that what you do?
Absolutely. I'm surrounded.
Honey, I'm home.
Yes. Yes. Well, it wouldn't really work with my first 2 husbands, who I'm, by the way, going to see after this show.
Good.
Together. That would be a much more interesting story.
Well,
Should
how
one
about-
mix ex-husbands?
Well, do you know, between all of us, we can do very well. Lovely to meet you, Jane.
You
Welcome
too.
to the
Thank
show,
you
as
so
say.
much.
Jane Seymour, everyone.